Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day so far. I'm having a fabulous day. So glad to be here spending a little time with y'all. So we're into the last week of February, which means the last week of Black History Month. And I just want to focus a little bit on, Black history, and I want to applaud all the Black Americans or African Americans or however you want to say it, but anything they've done to be a part of our history, this country would not be, whether the people want to recognize it or not, without the contributed that Black people have done throughout the history. A lot of time it just does not get recognized or get the credit due to Black Americans. So I want to applaud everyone, past, future, right now, just applaud, everyone. I love learning history about this, about what we have done. I love reading Black author books and seeing the history through their eyes and their experience. So I, do that quite a bit. Sometimes I just only search out Black authors so I can, read their experience and what they have to bring to the table. Okay. With that being said, I have been doing a little research because for all you sports fanatics out there, a couple of weeks ago, and before I say this also, I'm not trying to tear anyone down or anything like that, but a couple of weeks ago, Caitlin Carter, a Division One basketball player, they was recognizing her for being the first woman to accomplish the goal that she accomplished. Like I said, I'm not taking anything from her, and kudos to her for accomplishing that goal, which was making the most points in her career. And she had, made like over 3,500 points in her career. And in Clark's 103rd game, she became Idaho all-time leading scorer. Kudos to her. She is the first of all-time NCAA WWBB scoring list. She is the sixth player to ever amass 1,000 career assists. She is the first Division One player to record 3,500 points, 1,000 assists, over 850 rebounds in a career. And at first they were saying she was the first woman ever. And then later they went back and changed that to Division One because people did start doing a little research and throwing out some other names, comparing their career history points to what Kaylin had done. Okay. It says Clark is an all-time leader in the 30 points performance in the men's and women's college basketball over the last 25 seasons. And that's, like I said, that's great. I'm not taking anything away from her at all. She's accomplished a lot in her career, and she deserves a round of applause for that. But when I was watching that, because I don't really watch a whole lot of sports, but it pops up on your phone and all this kind of stuff. So I started doing a little research on my own, okay? And doing my research, I'm gonna get back to this page where I want to talk about two ladies that I actually found. And since this is Black History Month, I came across Miss Lynetta Woodworth, and she also is a basketball player. She retired American Basketball Hall of Famer, player and a former head coach, basketball coach. She made history by becoming the first female member of the Harlem Globetrotters at and who at the age of 38 began playing as one of the oldest members in the it was newly formed at that time. She started playing for the WNBA, women's basketball. Okay, let me see down here. Okay, Miss Woodward went on to play college basketball with the University of Kansas in '78, playing there until 1981. She was a four-time All-American at KU. She averaged 26 points per game and scored over 3,649 points in her total during her 4 year there. So she, right at that point, she scored like 3,600 points, almost 33,649 points. Let me get it right. In her 4 years. So, I had never even heard of her until I did the research. So, when we're talking about these different events that happens in people's life and these different record-breaking things that's happening, we often don't go back and do the research and see if there's actually anyone before. Now, I realized back when Lynette Woodward was playing, the records, they didn't keep as accurate of a record. They didn't, note this and put it in the history books so that you could do it. But these days, the way social media is, you can go back and find anything that you have questions about. So that's a good thing about, having social media and Google and being able to go back and search some of this stuff. And actually, her name was thrown out by some sports broadcaster that was talking about Caitlin, and he was saying that it wasn't true. He applauded Caitlin as everyone should, but he talked about Lynette Woodward and what she had accomplished during her basketball years. I mean, like I said, in the earlier years, of course, they did not notate everything as accurate as they do now. But Miss Woodward needs to be recognized for her accomplishment that she brought to the WNBA during her career span and the times that she did play for the University of Kansas. I think I said Kentucky, but Kansas. The University of Kansas, and what she achieved during her time there. And I also came across, let me go to her, another young lady that had brought quite a bit to the basketball. Her name was Pearl Moore, Miss Pearl Moore. So I'm gonna pull her up real quick and just read some of her stats and talk to you guys a little bit about her. Okay, Miss Pearl Moore. Miss Pearl Moore, a four-time All-American. She is the all-time career scoring leader for the women college basketball with 4,061 points. Okay, ranked third in the college basketball career scoring list for all levels of man and women's college basketball. Her average was 30.6 points per game over her 4-year season at Francis Marion College during the era that did not have the 3-point field goal. And she was named the 1979 South Carolina Athlete of the Year, a final nominee for the 1978 Wade Trophy, a first-round draft choice in the WBL, and participated in the 1981 WBL All-Star Game. She was inducted into the Francis Marion Hall of Fame in 1992, the South Carolina Athletic Hall of Fame in 2000, and was part of the integration class for the Florence Area Athlete Hall of Fame in 2006. And she played professionally one season in Venezuela. And that's, they didn't have a whole lot to say about her, but just that alone, that's amazing. That's just mind-blowing, but that's just two young ladies, black athletes that contribute a lot to the game. and no one has even mentioned them or even talked about them at any point until, Miss Lynette was talked about after Kaylin made her record career. And then people started bringing out the facts that Lynette Woodward had done that and a little bit more. And once I saw that, then I kept on researching, and Miss Pearl Moore popped up. So like I said, that's, it kind of, goes hand in hand. And it's like a full circle when you talking about Black History Month, how stuff is kept under a rock, I guess you can say, because back when a lot of these things, events and different things was going on with African American or Black people, it was not kept, it was not written about. No one wrote down the facts. No one, even took the time to put this in the history books so that we could see the history of Black Americans and see what they have accomplished and what they have done. Like I said earlier, I'm not taking anything away from Kaylin Clark or anything like that. That's a big achievement that she did. But there were people before her that held the records or still hold these event records that still at this point. And I was reading somewhere that even in the next couple of years, she wouldn't even be able, someone was saying that they didn't think she would even be able to break the record that Miss Pearl Moore had set. Because like I say, she had over 4,000 points during her career. So it's just crazy how sometimes when you hear about different things going on, and unless you put in the research and take time to find out if this has happened in the past, or is there someone else in the history of the past that has accomplished these things, and because they've never mentioned, they've never recognized them or given them their props. And then when you start doing that research, usually you find someone else in those same space, in that same career, or in that same sports or event or whatever's going on, that has done the same thing and did not get any type of recognition for it. I mean, yes, I did find this, and yes, they did talk, and they threw out the status of both of those young ladies, Miss Lynette Woodward and Miss Pearl Moore, is there. You can research it yourself, but you have to go back and find that, because until that point when they started talking about Kaylin, I had not even heard anything about these two ladies. And it's there, it's in black and white, but it was not put out there for anyone to say. And there was I cannot even think of the sports caster that brought up Lynette Woodward's name, and that kind of opened up the gate to research it and find if there was anyone else. So kudos to Miss Lynette Woodward, and kudos to Miss Pearl Moore for contributing and being so affected in the game of basketball and doing, achieving what they achieved. Because back when they played, it was very difficult. Like I said, Miss Lynette, it wasn't even got into the play for the WNBA, but I don't think Miss Moore had a chance too, because they did not even have that organization going on at the time that they was playing basketball. So it was very much difficult, very hard for them to even show off their sports and their skills and their ability when they was in the game and playing the game. Okay, that's it. Like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away from Kaylin. Kudos to her, but there are two more women that I was able to research myself that has held the record and still hold that record of being the highest points in a 4-year period when it comes to basketball. Okay, all right, that's just my little bit. You guys have a great rest of your Black History Month. Enjoy yourself. Be kind to everybody. And Granna will check you guys out next time around.